Look, firstly, let's deal with the Maguire situation. What do you think, Derm, in that scenario? And James has just explained it there as a centre-back, 6'2" plus. What is he supposed to do in that situation?
I think on another day, another ref, it'll be a goal, Will, honestly. Alan Shearer was in the studio last night and I said, if that was disallowed, 60 of his goals would be chalked off, wouldn't they? That's sheer body strength for me. But I was very surprised. But as James said, he's probably see an arm across the back. But if you look at the defender, he's given it up as a goal. I was surprised it wasn't given.
He does brilliant, Maguire, there, because when Luke Shaw gets the ball, he gives himself room. So he doesn't say to Luke Shaw, stick it on my head where I'm standing. He says, stick it on Peter's head and I'm going to come and meet it. But by coming and meet it, you're obviously going to make contact with the defender, and it wasn't enough to give a foul there.
Yeah. Dermot, we've got to talk about the incident which preceded that, and it was, of course, it all started with a tackle from Luke Shaw. Talk us through this, Dermot, just to how the referees came to this decision, because there was a lot of confusion about this initially, but I think now people are starting to see it clearer.
Yeah, I think the first decision is when Shaw makes the tackle, the VAR has checked for a red card immediately and said no. The game goes on, Brady makes this tackle here, the referee judges this to be a yellow card. I think incorrectly, because I think it's got to be a red card for a denial of goal scoring opportunity. What was really good is that the VAR took the same notion, and because he did, you then go back and check. But you see Ben Mee, he's not going to catch him. You look back and you go, yeah, Cavani wasn't in an offside position in the attacking phase, so therefore it's allowed to go. Was there a foul? You default back to Shaw. You look at this. Without doubt, that's a foul. I think it's a yellow card. So they default back to that. What I would say, it took a long, long time to process, but me and Tim have discussed this many times. It's better to take a little bit longer and get the decision right, because at the end of the day, you've restarted with a yellow card for Shaw, free kick to Burnley, rather than Burnley being down to 10 men incorrectly.
James is pulling a confused face.
I must be honest, I thought the Luke Shaw tackle was a red card, Dermot, if I'm honest. I think, you talk about follow-throughs, and I think the follow-through there is extremely dangerous, and me personally, I thought it was a red card.
Look how surprised Dermot is. James Collins says that wasn't a foul. That's amazing, Dermot, isn't it?
Dermot, I'll tell you what, explain like you did last night as well, because, Alan Shearer asked you the question, and this, I think, sums it up quite nicely, that had, for example, Brady on Cavani been a two-footed tackle and been serious foul play, then they would have, still issued a red card for that. But it's only because there was a foul in the build-up to that play that, therefore, that incident with Brady and Cavani never happened.
Yeah, there's an interesting caveat, Will, in so much as this was a foul. This wasn't an act of serious foul play. It wasn't an act of violent conduct. It wasn't a two-footed tackle. It wasn't a punch or a kick. It was a foul. The only difference being it would have been a red card foul because of the position on the field and the ramifications, i.e. obvious goal scoring opportunity. So because of the foul in the build-up, that got wiped out. What I said to Alan last night was, if you think back to the Jordan Pickford Van Dijk, the first thing was, is it a penalty? Yes, it was a foul committed. Build up, yes, it was an offside. So they went back and defaulted the offside. Unfortunately, they forgot to issue the red card. But that would have been an act of violent conduct, serious foul play, therefore a red card. Last night, a different foul, so not a red card.
Yeah, just want to show you the incident as well, Dermot, with Harry Maguire towards the end of the game, potential handball. Tim, James, firstly, what do you make of this one before we ask Dermot?
Well, I think in this current climate, I think that could easily have been given as a handball. I think he leads with his arm. His arm is above his head or level with it. I think it would have been very, very soft, but I think there is contact with Harry Maguire's elbow there, so possibly a penalty for Burnley.
Yeah, I think his arm's sort of in a bit of a natural position when he's trying to win the header, but like you say, a different day, a different ref, it could have been given, certainly in this climate, but for me it wasn't a penalty.
Yeah, Derm, your view, not given, right decision?
Yeah, I think this falls into what I call the post-Joel Ward, Will, where before the Joel Ward incident, Crystal Palace-Everton, it would have been a penalty. Now I think there's a little more balance, and I think when you see how far it comes, before he sees it, there's so many players in the way, I think it strikes him without doubt. But as Tim said, would have been very, very harsh.
Dermot, really appreciate you coming on. Great to speak to you. That's former Premier League referee Dermot Gallagher. And look, guys, ahead of a massive game for Manchester United this weekend at Anfield, which is always big, no matter what the scenario. But given what's happened here with Manchester United going top, and have a look at this progression graph, because this takes you back to around the time of that 6-1 defeat against Tottenham. You can see from match week 1 there, but. We talk about momentum, Tim, and that just illustrates what has happened at Old Trafford in the last few months.
Yeah, and under immense pressure. When you start so badly as Man United did, certainly with their home form, increasing pressure on the players, on the coaching staff, and certainly on the manager. For a long time now, I can't remember seeing Ed Woodward on the screen. I think that's always a good sign, because everyone always points the finger at him. But when the team's playing well, then he's probably the best chief exec in the business.
Yeah,
it's not often you see a team start so bad and stick with a manager and they manage to claw themselves out of it. Certainly this day and age, is, teams and owners are quick to fire or sack managers, and fair play to Man United, and Ollie's dug them out of a bad start, and they look in real form.
But they're there, aren't they? They're together. Like we said, they've rotated, so everyone feels part of it. They're all fresh, they're all ready to play when called upon. And I just think that perhaps they might add to the squad. I mean, if I was the money man there now, I'd be saying, what do you want? What do you actually need? Is there something we can make our starting 11 better with? Not just go and sign someone for the sake of it. And I'm sure there is. I think there could be someone in that Fernandes role, just in case he's so important to him, just in case he got himself injured. But then again, saying that, Pogba's been brilliant recently, so he can produce that little bit of magic to open up the teams that sit deep against them. Maybe a centre-back, maybe a full-back. I don't know. I think they're very healthy at the moment. Whereas if you look at Liverpool, who are going to be the favourites to win the league, they've still got that problem defensively.
Yeah.
I think the best thing about United, again, I touched on it earlier, is after the game, they really all seem together now. We sort of questioned that, their mentality and if how together the actual squad was. But certainly after the game yesterday, they looked like they were a team who were really willing to go and take games by the scruff of the neck and win games. And we haven't said that a lot about Man United in the last couple of years. And
it'll be really interesting to see if they go there and be aggressive, and what kind of Manchester United come out and what that does to the confidence. Just a quick word on Burnley before we go to the break. No shot on target last night. They're 5 points above Fulham. They're not in direct danger, are they? But and it was a game that they knew what was going to happen with Manchester United, and they had to be dogged as they were, and they were in it for large parts of the game.
Yeah, there was. Well, they're always in it. Even if they go down with Sean Dyche there, the players, the manager, they've all been in this position before. Stay in the game. There might be a set piece. The teams normally, even if it's Manchester United, top of the league, they sat back for the last 5-10 minutes. You put some pressure on, you load that ball into the box. They played very direct. It was a very physical game. It was almost like a throwback to when we played. Listen, I don't worry for Burnley. I think their manager's calm enough. He doesn't get too high, he doesn't get too low. He will pick up enough points for them to stay in the league this year. He's got new owners there now. It'd be interesting what view they take, whether they decide to go in a different direction. My warning to them would be careful what you wish for. For a club like Burnley to continually stay in the Premier League with the limited funds they've had to spend, he is a top drawer manager, Sean Dyche.
Yeah.
Keep hold of him.
And a throwback to when we played. He's just aged you, Tim Sherwood, by about 20 years ago, putting you in the same bracket.
I know I look older than him, but...
I mean, us.
All right, well, I'll take that one. Manchester United then go top, not far behind them. Everton, who we will see next. They are back.